Maybe it's just me, but it seems like I have more stuff in here than I had yesterday. Yes. So what you were looking at in the echo is actually the ductwork that is bouncing, I'm echoing right into this thing right now. So anyway, what we have is we have a hood for our forge. We have ductwork for the exhaust for the hood. I was going to run a stack all the way up, but I explained that a couple of videos ago. I just am not into climbing above this peak on a ladder that doesn't even reach to get a stack up there. Because in order for a stack to work properly, it has to be up above the peak of a building. It can't be, you can't have it lower than that. For one, if you get a spark or something that goes up it, not that this really gives off a lot of sparks. It's not like I'm forging with charcoal or anything like that. We forge with coal, so I really don't get the sparks. The exhaust, by the time it hits the hood fan and all that, it's not as hot. By the time it gets out the wall, it's really not that warm at all. We're pretty much just exhausting the smoke without getting all the heat going up it. So, what we're going to be working on is getting this set. This was all stuff they were going to toss out at work because this was made for a job and the customer decided that they didn't want it. It was a custom order ductwork, so everything's custom sizes and all that, but I believe I have enough to get to where I want to go, and probably it's going to be a pretty certain thing that I'm going to have to move that exhaust fan to accommodate this, which is fine. Where it is right now, I'll cut a hole in there and we'll put a window in there instead. But I think that'll work better. And off of these trunks, we'll come off with some other stations for exhaust that we'll put dampers on so we're not sucking from everywhere in the room all at the same time, especially while we're running the forge. Running the coal forge, you really need to get that smoke out of there. You suck up too much coal smoke and it's going to do some nasty stuff to your nervous system, so we try to avoid that as much as possible. This is 14 by 18 ductwork. Shouldn't have any problems. It's kind of actually just about a perfect fit for that exhaust fan. So anyway, stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to do a little bit of tin knocking. So if you guys are doing anything with unistrut, threaded rod, anything like that, these little pipe vices, little pipe stands are phenomenal. It's kind of a staple in the mechanical trades. So any of you guys who've worked on pipe fitting crews or anything like that have probably had plenty of experience with these things. Probably the best ones are probably the rigid ones. And they're made for, designed for commercial use. This is a mini one that I carry in my work van, and it is just a handy thing. The other thing when you're dealing with unistrut and you're putting up hangers, each hole on here is 2 inches on center. So if you're just ripping off a bunch, you could just count your holes, cut it where you need it. So let's see. So another thing when I'm putting these trapezes up, I have a certain amount of, obviously I have a width that I have to go by. I don't like my strut and everything right tight up to my ductwork, because if I have to do anything, shuck it one way or the other, anything like that, it's awful nice to have a little bit of wiggle room there. Well, let's see. For 18 inches, let's say we'll go 22 inches. That'll give us a little room there. So 11. We're going to start with a couple hangers for now, enough to get it up in the air. I got to dig out my deck plates and all that. All right, so they were kind enough to put, what the frig, there it is. They were kind enough to put a blank off plate on here, which is going to serve us well because this will be the end of our trunk line. This guy right here will be our drop. So when we come from up here, dropping down to connect to this hood here. It's going to be just about perfect for the height I want, because you need that hood kind of low to the fire. Otherwise, you're going to have smoke rolling out the sides. And if it's rolling out the sides, it's going to be a pain in your ass. Now, we have 12-foot ceilings in here to the top, so this is going to hang down a little bit, but I'm kind of prepared for that. I figured I'd deal with that. I'm not too worried about it. So what we got to do, and I want to get this thing centered here. We don't want it to look like ass and cat food, right? So, let's see here. There we go. It's going to be our forge exhaust.
What's that?
You know how we suck the smoke out?
Oh.
With that garbage setup?
Yeah.
We're taking it to the next level. So.
That's hard to do in this bar.
All right, yahoos. All right.
All right.
All right. Easy.
I didn't mean to.
I know you didn't mean to. All right, guys.
Ooh, it's cock.
Just, would you put that down there, Spazzy?
I'm gonna grab your paint.
Both of you. Okay. Are you ready for this?
Not really.
You on that side. What is all over your face?
Paint.
Crayon?
Paint.
Paint? You get on this side?
The mic's not on, is it?
Yeah, it's right next to you. All right. You ready?
I guess. Why not?
Lift!
Lift where?
way, or
Come on!
where do you
Right.
want us to lift it?
Okay, you get on that side.
Where do you want us to?
You get on there.
Where do you want us to put it?
Okay, lift it up so it's flat. Get under both lips there. Oh, it's not even heavy.
Seriously?
Get your hand under the edge.
Like this?
Lift it up.
Just not the whole.
Come on. Step this way.
Step right up.
Okay, lift it up, guys, so it's sitting against your flat. Okay, walk back up a little, Emma.
This one?
Yep. Okay, wait.
Oh, you pulled me back.
Okay, now go that way towards the back wall a little bit. Good.
I wonder if I could crawl through that.
Hey, please don't. All right, come on. Come on, you two are moving like old people. Slow and sloppy.
Oh,
You ready? Come on, pick it up. Oh, way to go. Wait for your sister. Nice.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get one screw in. If we can get you guys to hold still. Well, this ought to work a whole lot better than what we had in here before with that loud ass burner motor that I put in. Now this is low. I did this on purpose because in order for this thing, I don't want any smoke escaping around the sides and filling up the room in here. That was also an issue with that when you were first getting the forge going, putting raw coal on it. And once it got burning and the smoke got controlled, it would go up there, no issues at all. But this, I mean, we have big ductwork here, we have a good size hood, and we have a big exhaust fan. We're moving that exhaust fan from over by the little half-ass welding bench. I put this low specifically for that. Now my fire pot is going to be out towards the front here. Anything that I can reach and see and do just fine. But we're going to build it so it encompasses the area underneath this thing. And it's going to be stone, so it's going to be permanent. I'm doing a little more permanent things here so that I'm not tempted down the line to say, oh, I can move that. I want to get this needs to get set up and left alone. And that's why we're taking so much time on these design decisions at this moment. Now, I do have a few inches. If this seems too low, I have about close to 6 inches I can bring it up. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that is an awful lot for something like this. You know, to go from here to say right here. Allows you a little more sight of vision. That said, if my fire pot's right here, it's not going to be a pain in the ass. The coal, the raw coal, we'll have pour it on a metal table towards the back of it. And then we could just pull it in with a forge rake. All that good stuff. So anyway, that's where we're at. Thank you for watching, everybody. And to the last video we put out about our bank account being robbed, a lot of good support there. I really appreciate it. It's something that is definitely not just us. Many people are dealing with this kind of crap all the time. And the problem with that is it's a shame that there's people out there that make their living off of other people. It's really a shame. But thank you for the support, everybody. For those of you, you know who you are, who put money in the tip jar, I really appreciate it. But please, folks, I know those links are listed up there. I don't push those links. I throw them in there. There's always, throughout the timber frame build and the process of setting up, there's always people offering, you know, can we help out monetarily? And I usually say, no, you know, keep your money. People are having a hard enough time these days making a living, and it's awful hard to give up that extra if you have it. But, so I throw those links up just specifically because I've had so many people request it over the years that I finally just said to hell with it. I'll throw them up there, but I certainly don't push them. I just, you guys watching the videos, getting the view counts, that's plenty enough for me, and I'm very happy with that. Financially, we'll be fine. This isn't too much of a hiccup. Fortunately, I think we're going to get everything resolved. Probably not fairly quickly because we have to go through a couple of different channels to do it, but we should get there in a timely manner. So anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the next one.